What's going on, guys? Welcome back to CSC Plus. We are back again Friday, Picks Friday. You're going to be seeing this on Saturday, but we're going to go through a lot of things today, so we got a lot to go over. We're going to go over our Week 4 picks from last week. We're going to go over the Week 5 against the spread this week, and then we are going to go over the UFC event, because at the end of the day, this is a combat account. We are a new addition to the CSC Plus Pick'em Friday. We're going to set him up with a fair 7-7-1 record. Just to be fair, for the continuation of the season, we have CC.
Hello.
Guy is pretty cool, but so yeah, let's just start. Open mic to complain about your picks from last week. Any picks that you dislike, just yell at. I'm going to start. Arizona Cardinals. Zach Ertz, you fucking suck. You're the worst tight end in the NFL. Guy dropped an open touchdown to cover. That was the biggest piss off. Kansas City Chiefs. Patrick Mahomes decides to slide. He scores that touchdown. They cover the fucking spread. So that's another one I should have gotten. Cleveland sucks. No excuses. Atlanta, garbage pick. No excuses. Bengals stink. No excuses. Colts should have won that football game, but Puka Nacua.
Uncle Dana made it happen.
So those are my complaints about the last week. I should have a better record than all of them, in my opinion. But, you know, sometimes you flip a coin, it's tails. Sometimes you flip a coin and it's heads. You know?
Hey, when you get one of your locks correct, come talk to me.
Yeah, that was
Daniel Jones, trash.
That was another very brutal day at the office, was the locks of the day. We had Canelo round 9, which failed.
Hell yeah.
Eagles D tackles to get sacks. They did not get a single sack. And then we had Murata got one thing correct. He said that the Seahawks 2.5, but he also failed on the Travis Kelce scores a touchdown in front of Taylor Swift.
They didn't show enough Taylor Swift.
So when it won,
That hurt me.
It was
I hurt my bank account.
It was a brutal day.
That's fair.
Brutal day at the office. But without further ado, there's really no excuses at the end of the day. Let's get on to picking for Week 5 of the NFL season. These odds were based on Bet365.
Oh, yeah.
These odds were based on Bet365 at 1 o'clock p.m. So if the odds have changed, too fucking bad. It's too damn bad. And we are just going to start. So anything else to say before we get into the spread picks?
Joshua Dog.
All right, let's start with the early game. In London, the Buffalo Bills are traveling to London for their game this week. Jacksonville got to stay there. Jacksonville picked up a win against the spread last week in London. They are getting 5.5 points, even though they're staying in London. Buffalo really had a good game against Miami, so that's probably what is giving them 5.5. I am going to lean to the Jacksonville Jaguars plus 5.5.
You know, I'd compare this game to the Bills being Oppenheimer and Jacksonville being Barbie. Trevor Lawrence, he owns London.
They call him Luval.
Have to go with the Bills.
Okay, Bills minus 5.5.
That's a tough one, man. You know, I worry about the jet lag and what that does. And, you know, Buffalo had a fantastic game. They're playing a lot better than Week 1. But I'd like Jacksonville at home in London.
Yeah, I'm going to have to go with the Jags as well. Staying in London will be huge.
Oh, yeah. I'm already up one on everybody this week. Easy. Okay.
Jeez Louise, this guy's confident.
You're one up on being a loser.
We're going to move on. Divisional matchup. Ravens have their second road divisional matchup in back-to-back weeks. Last week, they absolutely shit on the Deshaun Watson list. Cleveland Browns, when Deshaun Watson was announced out, the spread actually just flipped. So the Ravens were minus 1.5. The Ravens absolutely slaughtered that cover. It's one of the things that only Kish got right last week. I am going to, again, go against the Baltimore Ravens. I did not learn my lesson from last week. Steelers didn't look very good last week. It's one of the ones we all got wrong against the Texans. But I do think at home they're going to come out and play a little bit of a tougher defensive game. Divisional matchups are always very, very close. I'm going to take the home underdog, especially again. Divisional matchup in Pittsburgh. 4, I like it. Maybe the Ravens get the win, but the 4 spread for me.
Oh, you know, I'm just looking at some good old stats. Steelers 29th offense, 28th defense, 25th passing, 29th rushing. They're a unit. They are unstoppable. Matt Canada can't win with them. It's all about the Ravens, buddy.
You know what? With these two teams, they hate each other. You got to throw out the record books. Nothing matters. Stats do not matter. These guys hate each other. They're going to be coming at each other with all that they got. Adam, I've been to Pittsburgh, and let me tell you, when they play Renegade, the fans go crazy. So if I hear that at least once, I got to lock in the Steelers.
I'm going with the Ravens.
Yep.
Steelers, Absolute trash. Get him out of here.
Dylan riding the Ravens again. Adam flipped over from Cleveland's defense, where we all thought Cleveland's defense was going to be big last week. He's jumping over to the Ravens. He thinks he's seen enough from last week. Fair enough. Then we go to my game of the week, the best team in football, Carolina, traveling into Detroit. Detroit getting 10 points, and this spread continues to increase as the hours turn to days. But Carolina, huge road underdog. I am actually going to side with my team in this football game. Last week going against them helped me, but I think 10 points for Carolina's defense is too many. Even if Detroit goes up pretty big, it'll give Bryce Young an opportunity to maybe gain some confidence this week. I think that maybe they lose by 7 or 8. But if Carolina's defense can keep them in the game and they lose by a field goal, I don't doubt that's an option too. I'm going to lock in my team. It's difficult for me to say after watching all their performances so far being so ass, but we're going to take Carolina on the road plus 10. I think people are overrating Detroit too for how they whooped Green Bay last week, but that's just my opinion.
Yeah, we don't got to talk about it. That's fine. That was last week.
Yeah, it's a new week.
Exactly.
10 points is a lot of points. Detroit, they like to put up a lot of points. It's a tough one. It's a toss-up. If anything, it's going to be a push, so I'm throwing Detroit for the win.
You know what? I normally don't like touching spreads this high, but I'm gonna have to go with the knee biters here. I think they're rolling. They're at home, and I think they're gonna keep rolling, and especially against the Panthers, who are winless. I gotta go with Detroit.
Caleb Williams.
I'm also going to go with Detroit, not because I'm a fan of them, but because they've been looking good this year. Got to keep in mind, though, Detroit likes to do some good things and then just absolutely shit the bed and do some of the dumbest shit I've ever seen. We'll see going forward. Absolutely, but
it's okay. Jahmyr Gibbs.
We'll see going forward.
All right, so you're locking in Detroit, though.
I'm going to take Detroit, yeah.
Sticking with them. All right, Detroit 3 against my 1. Can't wait for my team to pick up their first win of the year and cover the 10-point spread. Let's ride. Okay, Houston traveling into Atlanta. Houston has probably been the surprise of the year so far for me up until this point. They are beating teams that they have had no business beating with a rookie quarterback in CJ Stroud, who's playing remarkable football, way better than Bryce Trash Bong. But nonetheless, we'll stick to the script here. I am going to go with Houston on the road plus 1.5. I think the Falcons' run game is really good, and it might have an impact on this game. But basically a pick 'em for me. I'm going to stick with Houston. CJ Stroud continue to play well. Better than Desmond Ridder. Quarterbacks, it's a quarterback league. Give me the Texans plus 1.5 on the road.
See, it's a funny matchup because Atlanta is all run game, can't pass the ball, and Houston just chucks Hail Marys and can't run the ball to save their goddamn life. So it's kind of who wins? What's better? Passing, rushing. And I love
defense.
Defense
that wins
championships. Doesn't win championships. No. That's old news.
Not in this.
That's why we're with the future, buddy. CJ Stroud.
CJ plus
he's throwing dimes.
Well, guys, I have an announcement to make. Haven't really know how to say this, sorry, but I am a Stroud boy. I like what they're doing. I like D'Amico Ryans.
OH.
He is solid.
And
coordinator.
Guys haven't played since 2019. Last time they did, Houston whomped them by 20 points, 52 to 32, I believe. And yeah, like I said, train's gonna keep rolling. So I'm taking Texans.
Look at CJ Stroud just getting all the confidence from everyone. Kish, where are you going?
This is when he flops.
I'm gonna take Houston as well.
Yeah, 4 for 4. They're definitely gonna pull the.
Atlanta's not.
The rug's coming out from our feet.
Yeah, we're gonna get screwed on this one. All right, let's go on. This is the shittiest game of the week.
This is the game of the week. The Tank Bowl.
Saints traveling to Foxborough to take on Mac Jones and the New England Patriots. Judon is out probably for the season. Tore his bicep last week. Still, defensive game here. I think the Saints defense.
J.C. Jackson's back.
Better than the Patriots in my opinion. Derek Carr probably going to play. The one spread still. We're rolling with fucking New England. You can't get starched by a team and come out and play a shit game of ball. I like the Patriots. Foxborough's going to be loud. They're going to be roaring or they're going to be booing. And Bill Belichick doesn't want them to be booing. Let's go. Patriots -1. Saints stink. That's my pick.
Yeah, this one is a tough one. I think there's going to be a whole lot of nothing going on in this game. Hopefully somebody can score at least 2 touchdowns. That would be impressive. I think there's the one big factor, In a normal day, I'd be leaning Pats, but this time we're leaning Saints due to all those injuries. McCorkle Jones, he's smoking stogies, not chucking balls. And Alvin Kamara last week, he decided to show up and play out. So I think Derek Carr with his bum shoulder can throw enough dump passes for 2 yards to get him through the game. Let's go Saints.
4 yards only. That's it.
Yep, that's all he needs.
Unfortunately, I don't have Comedy Central, so I won't be able to watch this game this week. But New England's defense is just cooked. They got nobody. I don't even care if J.C. Jackson's there. They did not look good. What was it like? Weren't they 28-3 at one point last week during the game?
McCorkle,
I think that was
McCorkle threw for fucking 14 of those points.
I think that was Bill Belichick's worst loss.
It was.
Yes, sir.
For a long time.
Now that Alvin Kamara's back, I mean, he's warming up. I mean, and I think he will continue to get hotter and hotter. And like an Olave, what he's doing. So go Saints.
Go Saints.
Yeah. I think Saints just got too many more weapons than them.
Who dat? Kish, where you going?
I'm gonna have to agree. I'm also gonna take the Saints. The Patriots 1-3, not looking good
I
here.
don't like this. Everybody's going against JFT. Am I gonna have another 5-9 week? Maybe. Okay, let's go on to the worst team in the NFL, in my opinion. I say that being a fan of the Carolina Panthers and having to put myself through watching Carolina Panther games. The New York Giants are in scrambles. They have no upside, no positive look into the future. They decided to pay Daniel Jones instead of Saquon, which might be their biggest mistake ever. I do think they're going to come out this week and play better than they did against the Seahawks. And because the spread is 12 and the jury's out on Miami now, if they're going to get blown out by teams like Buffalo, they lost a couple players too, I believe, in that Buffalo matchup. I am going to go with the Giants to cover this spread just because the spread is so big. I feel like these are most of the time traps, and I think that the Giants might be able to keep this game close. And if they can keep this game close until the fourth quarter, I don't think Miami chooses to take the roof off. They'll probably use their backfield with A-Chain and Mostert. So I'm going to take the Giants to cover 12. In no ways are they going to win this football game. I have no doubt in my mind they're going to get shit on. But again, that 12 points, I think they're teasing us with that. I'm going with the Giants to cover, very sadly.
Yeah, do I get an alt spread?
No, you don't get an alt spread.
Because I'll take Miami by 20. Holy fuck. Danny Dimes! I'm ready for him to get sacked another dozen times. That's the record he's going for this year. It's nice to see him set for some kind of accomplishment because they're not making the playoffs. They're not scoring points. And I don't know if you heard, Chase Claypool, Miami. He's a god. Jersey coming soon. Miami, we're taking this.
You just made me more confident in the Giants when you said that.
Maple Pride.
You stink. Okay, Carson, where are you going?
See, this is the thing with Danny Dimes. You don't know if you're going to get Danny Dimes or you're going to get Danny Donations. And last week, he looked terrible. I have not seen a worse robbery since Brock Osweiler on the Texans. That was bad. I hate the spread, but you know what? I think this is. I think Tyreek's a little angry for that $7,000 fine for not wearing socks. So I think once he puts them back on, he's going to run even faster. We're going to take Miami.
Jeez. All right.
I'm also going to have to take Miami.
Oh my god. Okay, that's another one where I'm on an island out here. Danny Dimes is carrying me to Cabo. Tennessee Titans, Indianapolis Colts. Titans travel to Indianapolis. Indianapolis is getting points at home. This one I'm struggling to see a reason why. The Titans beat up on a team that fucking sucks this year in the Bengals. I think I don't see any reason why and any way that the Indianapolis Colts should be a home underdog. We're riding with Anthony Richardson to have a little bit to continue his great second half against the Rams into this game. I'm going to take the Colts plus 2.5 in Indianapolis. Fans hopefully be loud. I like the upside with the Colts plus 2.5 here.
See, I think the only reason that the spread is because the Colts suck in the first half this year. But you can't suck against somebody who just can't play football. Ryan Tannehill, captain interception over here. Derrick Henry looking like a 35-year-old running back.
I don't think Derrick Henry looked good last year. Last week
he looked very good.
Last week he looked okay.
He looked
Every other week he doesn't look good.
Yeah.
I don't believe in the Titans at all this year, and that's why we got to go Colts, even though picked hard against them last week. I'm hoping for my Jonathan Taylor big dog to come out and show me what's up.
You got it last week fading them too. Carson, where are you going?
You know what? I am leaning towards the Colts here. I also like them. Even though I think Jim Irsay is a better guitar player than owner, I'll put that aside. But I like Anthony Richardson. I think he's got a lot of potential moving forward. Yeah, we're going to pick the Colts.
I got a question. How is the Colts first in the AFC South, and then the Titans are fourth in the AFC South, and they're both 2-2? Is everybody 2-2 in that fucking division?
Division is 2-2.
They are all 2-2.
Okay, that would make sense.
Very even division.
It's tight.
They're
They're all
They're
trash.
not very great.
Yeah, this is like picking the nicest pile of dog shit.
Yep. Which one are you going to pick up?
I'm gonna go with the. I picked the Colts last week and they lost.
Yep, did.
So this week you pick against them and they win.
I agree.
We'll go with the Colts again and then they'll lose again. We'll go
Damn
with
it!
it.
Fuck.
Adam, you almost got him. Okay. Then you got. I'm not picking.
Did you want me to take the Titans?
No, nobody did. Okay. I'm going to keep this one short and sweet. Arizona +3. Burrow sucks. Worst quarterback ever.
Whoa!
That was rude. You know, the last 2 years in a row, I've been picking Cincy to go to the bowl, but they haven't faced someone like Joshua Dog. This guy's a mean man. He's running the ball. He's crazy. He's got the read options. I couldn't name 2 of his receivers last week, but oh my god. Yeah.
You can name
Nice.
Michael
Take the yards on him. Take the yards on him. Who? Who? Man, it's one of those things. The Bengals have looked shit all year, but they're due for a win at some point, so I have to stick with the Bengals.
Sticking with odds makers, too. I can't believe they're the favorite. Carson, which way are you going to go? Are you going to go past glory for Cincinnati, or are you going to go with the team that's been dogging?
You know what? I think Josh Dobbs is going to pile the whole team up, and they're going to blast off. They're going to pound the Bengals. They stink this year. I never thought in a million years I would be taking the Cardinals over the Bengals, but here I am. Yeah, we're taking Dobbs.
I'm gonna take the Bengals.
The Bungles?
50-50
My boy
there.
Burrow.
So again, it's a battle of what do you think about last year? Do you think Cincinnati can find their old glory? Or are you going to ride with a team that's playing a lot better currently? And getting plus money at home. That one, yeah, okay. Let's move on. Rams at home +4. Is Cooper Kupp playing? Anybody know?
I believe he is.
He practiced with the
I
team.
don't think it's
saw
confirmed.
reports.
I don't know if it's confirmed. I know he's practicing with
I don't
the
think
team.
it's confirmed because everybody said he has 21 days to get like officially activated
You might be
from
right.
the
You
point.
might be right. Last week I said...
so, yeah, it's not 100% yet. I'm like pretty sure.
Okay, last week I said Cleveland without or with Deshaun Watson. I was going to take a -1.5. In this case, I'm going to do the same with or without Cooper Kupp. I'm taking the Rams +4. This team's offense, I'm not going to lie, it's humming. Matthew Stafford's
Against
picking
the
out
Eagles.
guys, and they're eating. The Eagles won by a field goal against the Commanders, who I think we saw on Thursday is kind of garbage. So I'm going to take the Rams to keep this game very, very close. I'm locking in Matthew Stafford and the boys in LA. I think that the Eagles are going to continue to struggle a little bit. It all comes down to how that Eagles offense decides to play. And I think the Rams offense is high-powered enough that even if the Eagles offense does play very, very good, the Rams can keep up with them, keep it close. I'm taking the Rams with the points at home.
Yeah, I mean this is a very tough game. I am a number 1 Eagles doubter this year. The Rams, it's one of those things. Do the Eagles have too much talent?
Maybe.
But you know what? Puka
That's it.
is the man.
That's it right there.
And if Cooper Kupp comes back, it's a lock. So you know what? We'll just go Rams.
agree.
Fuck it. Fuck you, Eagles.
Yep. Eagles let me down last week. Can't ride with them again. Rams
You know what? I back that.
fucked me up last week. Eagles let me down. This one was based on that. Carson, where are you going?
Well, I am on the score right now. As of 10 hours ago, I'm seeing a report that Rams Cup will make season debut in Week 5 versus Eagles. I like that. What still kind of scares me about the Eagles is they are the master of the tush push. They cannot stop
They'll go
Jalen
the whole
Hurts.
field doing
That's
it.
true.
Oh, absolutely. They're the kings.
gross.
They own that. And I mean, I don't really care. Like, I don't mind the push, but I like
fruity.
Rams in this game at home. Like you said, Puka is looking very promising. This is the Matt Stafford that I liked. I never liked him in Detroit, but
They got a good team out there, man.
Yeah.
They got receivers now. If they get cut back with Puka, man, oh my God, that offense is going to be eating as long as Stafford doesn't turn the ball over.
Kyron
I'm a
Williams
little,
is 10
they have an
times than
offense,
Cam
man.
Akers ever
They
was.
have an offense. Kish, round us out. Who are you taking? Eagles on the road or Rams +4 at home?
Gotta take the Eagles.
All right.
He does not like
Fucking
Stafford.
contrarian over here. This guy's a Detroit fan.
He's a Detroit
Yeah,
hater.
that's true. Okay. All right. Kansas City Chiefs, Taylor Swifties move into Minnesota. Taylor Swift not going to be at the game. I'm taking the Vikings
Don't
plus
call
3.5.
them
Played the Panthers last week, but that was some brutal football. And KC, it might have looked a little lost against the Jets. Zach Wilson, I think he's a certified dog now after one good game. You know, that's just the way it works in the NFL. But you got to stick with the Chiefs, dog. Chiefs don't fumble twice in a row. Never happens. Lock it.
Yeah,
load
it's
it,
funny.
subscribe.
It's funny you mentioned Taylor Swift. I kind of like that she won't be at the game, and there won't be all eyes and pressure on Kelsey. Yeah, I got screwed really, really hard last week with that. And it was just, yeah. I mean, I couldn't believe the Jets outplayed Zach Wilson specifically outplayed Pat Mahomes pretty much in every stat, even though they lost the game. And you could blame the rest for that one. But I still like Chiefs. Get work done.
Kish, last one, your choice. What are you taking?
I'm never gonna take the Vikings in my life.
Smart man.
Amen.
I also want to add script writers are definitely locking in Minnesota this week. They want to say that all the success is from Taylor Swift, and they can't say
she
that.
put Kelsey on the map.
They can't say that if
Oh,
Taylor
yeah.
Swift is at the Minnesota game. If Taylor Swift isn't at the Minnesota game and KC wins, can't have that. So they want it to be that Taylor Swift's been at 2 games. They won both those games. Taylor Swift has missed 2 games. They lost both of those games. We're locking in Minnesota +3. I love it. Okay, Jets traveling into Denver. Denver a favorite for some crazy reason. Zach Wilson hasn't looked very good this year until last week. Last week he decided to put on his Aaron Rodgers shoes, make back shoulder throws that I've only seen the great quarterbacks making, and I am going to ride that hype. I am going to overestimate Zach Wilson in this game. I think he can go into Denver and win straight up against the Broncos. I'm taking the Jets +2.5 on the road.
Tough pick. Denver, I don't know what happened to their defense. Some would say a guy named Vance Joseph. Breece Hall recently cleared to not be on a snap count. Ultimately, you know what we got to do? Let's ride, baby. Danger Witch is on deck. Russell Wilson, he's had a pretty good year considering
I'm looking at
all of
these
the team
stats. Yes,
is a
he
mess.
has.
He has had a good year. They have
It's
no
the
run
defense,
game.
Yeah.
They have a decent core of receivers, but that defense is literal dog water. But we're going to ride with them.
Yeah, it's like what you said, JFD, last week with Zach Wilson. He had that, it looked like Aaron Rodgers had performed some kind of voodoo to put himself inside Zach Wilson's body because he was playing. Yeah, honestly, I think they might have had tea before the game, and it paid off.
Yeah.
I don't know what he was seeing. He wasn't seeing no ghosts like Sam Darnold, but I was, I was thinking today, I can't stand Russell Wilson. I just can't. I can't deal with him. He is the worst. He sucks on and off the field.
Whoa.
Yeah, I said it. I stand by it.
All right.
Yeah, didn't he block his number?
Marshawn Lynch came on a podcast and absolutely ripped into Russ.
I heard a story today that after that Super Bowl against the Patriots, Russell Wilson came up to him and said, "Hey man, we'll get him next time." And Marshawn's like, "The fuck are you talking about?" Super Bowl.
Let's ride.
So I am going Jets. Jets.
Gonna have to go with the Broncos.
Okay, Dallas versus San Fran. This is by far game of the week. It's undoubtedly
Game of the week.
Game of the week. Sunday night game too. They picked a good Sunday nighter. Dallas has been talking a lot going into this game. I think they have something to prove. Chip on their shoulder. They like to play big in the regular season as well. 49ers, as we know, own them in the playoffs. I'm gonna lock in Dallas +3.5 on the road here. I think that they're gonna get up to play a little bit of a better game, noting that this is a regular season game. We'll see though how they're able to somehow control Christian McCaffrey. You can't stop that guy, so you just got to try and contain him. But I still think Dallas is just going to play a little bit harder. They have a little bit more riding into this game to prove themselves, even though it's not a playoff game. I'm taking Dallas +3.5.
You want it short and sweet, buddy?
Short and sweet. Give it to me.
Trey Lance revenge game. But he has no revenge. Niners, lock it.
This is a tough one. In all honesty, I hate both teams. I respect them. They both are looking very promising this season, but I like 49ers. I understand how the Cowboys had that loss against the Texans. It's definitely a get-right game for them, but I don't think it'll be easy coming to
they
San
got right
Fran.
against
It's
the Pats.
going to be loud.
No, I'm taking the 49ers.
Dallas going to play big this week, I think. We'll see. We're going to do the Monday night game. We're going to skip the Thursday night game because that's just kind of stupid. I made us do that last week. We're going to do the Monday game. Green Bay traveling into Vegas. I need word on Jimmy G. He's out, right? Pretty sure he's out.
Is he?
I haven't heard any update on him. I'm
I've
assuming
heard
he's still out, but I haven't heard.
It now sounds like Garoppolo is suiting up for the Week 5 clash. He's cleared concussion protocol and talked to the media as of today. He might play. That doesn't change anything for me. The Packers, even though they looked so bad at Lambeau last week against the Lions, they let the Lions come in and run roughshod all over them. I think they're going to have a bounce-back game on Monday night. They've had a lot of time from Thursday to this Monday to game plan for the Raiders. I don't like McDaniels. He's an idiot. We had the battle of the worst coaches in the NFL last week, and I really thought Brandon Staley of the Chargers had screwed it for them, but somehow the Raiders screwed it up even worse by throwing a pick to win the game. This is garbage game, but Green Bay Packers on the road +1. I like them.
Yeah, Devontae Adams probably going to have 200 yards, 2 tuds. Josh Jacobs, Green Bay has no run defense. Green Bay also has no run offense. They cannot move the ball on the ground to save their lives. Aaron Jones, seems he's hurt all year. A.J. Dillon, definitely not a number 1 back in the NFL, but in a 1-point pick'em, we stick with Love, baby. He's Jordan Love time. Garbage time quarterback. Second half, he's going to throw up something. We got it. Packers.
One thing I'm looking forward to,
especially with no Jimmy.
I'm looking forward to the Devontae Adams, Jair Alexander matchup. I think that'll be good. I don't think Jair's fully going to shut him down, but I think he'll definitely give him a run for his money. It's funny to talk about the run game last week, Adam. I can't even blame Aaron Jones because they just didn't play him. And it would really help if Bakhtiari wasn't being such a bitch. If it's turf, he's definitely not playing. I mean, they put him on IR.
He's shut out for the year now.
I don't think he's going to play. Yeah, I don't think
he's
so.
down for the year. I heard it on a...
Oh my gosh.
The coaches came out.
Get him out of here.
The coaches came out and said it's the most unexpected thing they've ever seen. Like a guy that can literally play but just isn't. They haven't seen it. I think, they don't want to deal with him anymore. So I don't think Bakhtiari.
Elton Jenkins back, though.
Okay, well, that's good. Yeah, absolutely. And love is in the air. I gotta back the Pack. I always will. And like you said, JFT, I think it's a really good stretch. I mean, they played Thursday to Monday. They have a lot of time to recover, strategize. I love it. It's going to be a good Monday night. Yeah, yep, I'm taking Pack.
They gotta win this.
To chime in with the you saying lack of Aaron Jones, it doesn't help that the Packers are literally like every game this year down in the first half, so they have to just keep passing the ball. So that's kind of shutting out their run. But even like start of the game, they show nothing.
I mean, like we started off like the Lions started off with the drive, and we picked it off. We got to the 20 and did nothing.
Yeah,
that won't happen here. I
like,
tell you that much.
Our first half is not going.
Jimmy G.
Hopefully we can do something.
With this team.
Raiders got no defense.
You guys won't be down.
Gosh, I mean, like they allowed Khalil Mack to get 6 sacks last week on that line.
Normally, I would choose the Raiders as they're my second team, but they are just an absolute embarrassment this year, so I'm gonna have to go with the Packers.
I agree. They've been playing bad ball. The Raiders. They gotta probably can McDaniels. Man, that guy is just not NFL ready. He's an offensive coordinator for life. I'm not a big fan of him. Okay. So that wraps up our Week 5 against the spread picks. I really hope I have a bounce back, but I always like to see the boys prosper, and I have a lot of picks against them. So we're going to have to see where things go. But without further ado, we are going to move into the UFC. This is going to be the second part, and then we're going to round out with our favorite bet of the weekend, if we have one. If not, I got favorite bets for all of us. But we're going to move on to the UFC card. I have sent them to the table chat for you guys to see. I'll run through the card. You just need to give me a winner. We're not going to play by the odds here. I will give the odds for each fighter, but
we're not doing like method.
No, not method or anything like that. Okay. You just give me the winner, and we'll see how many we get right. We'll start from the bottom, work our way up. So we're going to start with some early prelim. We'll start at the bottom. JJ Aldrich, Montana De La Rosa. JJ Aldrich is the slight underdog now. This fight was a pick'em. The lines have moved. De La Rosa, a longer striker. Aldrich, both of them have had some rough patches recently, losing more games than they're winning. I am going to take Montana De La Rosa just because of the height advantage, in my opinion. I just need picks from you guys. You let me know which of those two people do you think is going to win.
Rocket with JJ SWAT, dog. Get it.
JJ Watt pick. All right.
Give me De La Rosa.
Kish, round
I'm going to go De La Rosa as well.
The bantamweight division. Johnny Munoz Jr. 12-3 takes on Aoriqileng 24-11. Bantamweight division, 3 rounds. Aori is it's a pick'em fight. Both guys are minus 110. Johnny Munoz jab, long jab, better striker in terms of point fighting in my opinion. But Aori is a very good counter striker and does pack a little more power. Munoz better jiu-jitsu player. Aori probably a better wrestler. I am going to lock in Aori. I like the guy that can counter punch, and I like he'll probably land the bigger shots in this fight, which will lead him to a victory in my opinion. I'm gonna take Aoriqileng.
Short and simple, baby. China #1.
I am hopping on the China train, so I'm going to take Aori as well.
I'm also going to take Aori, as they call him.
The GOAT, Aoriqileng. Okay, then we're going to move on again. Vanessa Demopoulos versus Kanako Murata. Murata's from Japan, so I better not hear the China answer again. Vanessa's coming in. Big underdog. Plus 275 against Murata. Minus 350. Records would seem to echo that fact. Vanessa 9-5, Kanako 12-2. To be honest, I like Vanessa's grappling here. She is a jiu-jitsu ace. She has submissions on her record. But the wrestling from Kanako, as long as she can stay out of dangerous spots, I am going to take Murata to win this one. Again, odds wouldn't be as wide as they were if this wasn't a pretty clear matchup for me. So I'll take Kanako out of Japan, the Japanese wrestler.
Hey, man, I'm looking at this Sherdog, and Vanessa's a rocket, so we're locking her in.
Vanessa, the rocket.
Yeah, I am basing my pick based off hairstyle. Vanessa's just way too pretty, so I'm going to go Murata.
The opposite play. All right, Kish, your last go at it.
I'm also going to go Murata.
All right, Adam out
hey,
on
man,
the island.
doubt us. Love is real.
I actually have a bet. One of my bets is Vanessa to win by submission, but it's not because I think she's actually going to land it. I just like the odds, but we'll move on. Again, bantamweight division. Nate Maness takes on Mateus Mendonça. Maness 14-3 is actually a pretty sizable underdog here. Plus 200 against Mateus is minus 250. I do like the fact that Maness has honestly, in my opinion, fought better competition. I think he tends to fight better late on into fights. I'm going to lock in Nate Maness to win this one.
You know, I think they're both pretty garbage, so it's kind of tough. Give me Brazil.
I'm also going to ride with Mateus on this one.
Which one moved up in weight and which one moved down?
I believe Nate Maness is moving up from flyweight.
Okay, I'm going to take the Brazilian as well.
We move on. Not Canadian, she's actually Romanian, but from fighting out of Canada, fighting out of House of Champions, I'm taking Diana Belbiţă, Karolina Kowalkiewicz, a staple in the UFC. She's getting towards the back half of her career, in my opinion. Diana's actually an underdog, and I love that spot as a bet, but for pick'em-wise, I'm taking Diana Belbiţă to win.
Dude, pair of rockets. We're going with Diana, the warrior princess.
Tribute to the princess. I'm rocking with Diana. I think she's gonna not get killed this one. So.
Yep. Kish, I'm gonna ask what you pick, but I'm writing something down, and this is what you're going with. So you pick.
Can I go with draw?
What?
Yeah, this guy knows.
Just neither of them win because they both won the same amount.
No, you can't.
No, I'm just kidding. I'll go with the Canadian.
Good.
I'm just memeing.
Philip Lins versus Ion Kudalaba to round out the prelims. I don't know why this isn't a main card fight. Kind of confuses me. Kudalaba, we all know, absolute savage. Guy yells at people at weigh-ins. Philip Lins coming over from the PFL. Felipe Lins has actually had a couple fights in the UFC now, but he was originally from the PFL. Had a lot of success there. I am going to lock in Ion Kudalaba because Kudalaba's a legend.
Great facts. Kudalaba's gonna fucking pop his brain, dude.
Give me Linsanity. Give me Philippe.
I'm going to take Kudalaba as well.
Now we're on to the main card. Featherweight division. Alexander Hernandez fighting in featherweight again, moving down from the lightweight division where he had fought previous. He's taking on Bill Algeo, 17-7 Algeo, 14-6 Hernandez. I am going to take Bill Algeo. I don't think I will ever pick Hernandez in a fight, so I'm going to take Bill.
And for that reason, I take Hernandez.
I am going to take Algeo on this one.
I will take Hernandez.
The great ape.
How can you pick Hernandez after the fucking Cowboy ended his career?
Because that
Crazy.
was 5 years ago.
Still haunts Alexander every day. Okay, Drew Dober, battle of the 34-year-olds. Drew Dober takes on Ricky Glenn. Drew Dober, very exciting. Ricky Glenn, also very exciting. This might be fight of the night, potentially. I'm going to lock in Drew Dober. Dober was KO'd in his most recent fight against Matt Frivola, so we'll see how his chin holds up. Ricky Glenn was also knocked out in his most recent fight. I'm going to lock in Dober. Love his fighting style. Love the way he fights. I'm confident he'll be able to get this done against Glenn in this one.
Throw it out there. Drew Dober. He's a dog.
CC.
Give me DD. DC taking DD.
Easy.
I'm going to take Drew as well.
Alex Morono, Joaquin Buckley. A lot of flip-flopping on this fight. Odds have been shifting. Odds have been moving. Right now, at this point, Buckley sits at minus 170 to Morono's plus 140. Morono, a little bit more of a veteran, in my opinion, to the UFC. I'm going to lock him in, to be honest. I think that he's an underdog play in this fight. I think that Buckley might fade towards the end of the fights. I think Morono has more in the grappling department. Buckley, I feel like, is getting a lot of favoritism for his notoriety from the kick herd around the world, but we're going to stick with Alex Morono for this fight for me.
Plain and simple. Buckley, yoked. Lock it.
Buckley for being yoked.
I'm actually shocked that Morono's an underdog in this one, but I like him. I'm going to lock him in.
I'm going to take Morono as well. He is a veteran, so might as well take him.
Morono.
Fuck it.
All right, okay. Co-main event, again, another fight that has a lot of potential to pull the whole card. Joe Body Bags Pyfer takes on another knockout artist, Abdul Razak Alhassan, man. These guys are knockout specialists. Abdul's 12 wins. I think 11 of them are first-round knockouts. One of them came in the second round. This guy is an absolute savage. Joe Pyfer is on an absolute tear. Pyfer is getting all the love from the books. Pyfer coming in at minus 450 to Alhassan's plus 350. It's kind of clear here. Odds think that Pyfer's advantage in the grappling will be the difference here, because when it comes to the stand-up, I guess Pyfer's a little bit longer, but either of these guys could turn the lights out on each other. I'm going to lock in Pyfer for his wrestling ability, and he comes from a good team in Philadelphia. Gives me confidence that Pyfer is going to be able to take this fight down if he's put in any bad spots. I hope he doesn't choose the exciting route, because then it could really be a pick'em and these odds will mean nothing. But I'm going to lock in Pyfer to win anyway.
Abdul, almost 40. You're too old. Let's go, Pyfer.
I'm going to hop on that train and stick with Pyfer.
And I am not going to hop on that train, and I'm going to go with the guy who has 11 knockouts in the first round.
Jeez, Abdul. All right, and then we get on to the main event, which I don't know why it's a main event. Bobby Green tapped out Tony Ferguson, so I think the UFC's giving him his flowers at this point, giving him a main event spot. He's going up against an absolute dog in Grant Dawson. Oh my goodness, this guy's a savage. 20-1. Most impressive fight was his last fight against Damir Ismagulov. Absolutely took Ismagulov down. Absolutely slaughtered him. Grant Dawson's going to get the win here. I think he's going to find a submission early on, maybe the second round. If this fight does go a little further than the third round, maybe into the fourth and fifth, being 5-5, it's the first time Dawson's ever seen that kind of action. And he has shown in the past, albeit a little bit of a while ago, he has shown that he can go 3 rounds. But this one being 5, he might have gas tank issues in Dawson. But I'm still going to lock in Grant Dawson, KGD. Huge favorite on the lines. His wrestling's going to be too much for Bobby Green. Give me Dawson.
Bobby Green, congrats. You beat up 40-year-old CTE Tony Ferguson. Grant Dawson sleeps him.
I'm going to take my boy Bobby.
Bobby Green.
Ew.
Jeez.
Bobby Green.
Kish, round us out.
Go take Grant Dawson, as they call him.
This guy's a savage, man. All right,
I like that.
UFC.
All right, we'll go with that.
Okay, so that'll round out our pick'ems for today. We're gonna end off this video with best bets. If you guys have any, you can shout them out. I am gonna start. We got around, I think it was 8 for this week. I'm just gonna go through them all for the UFC card. We'll start from the top for me. I got Joseph Pyfer by submission. The clear expectation here is he's going to stop him via TKO. But I think if he's able to drop Abdul, I think the grappling of Pyfer is going to play into things. He's grappling with 205ers in his career. He's grappled with Eric Anders. He's grappled with some good guys. I think that he's got the ability here to land an RNC if he drops Abdul, and you can get this line at plus 600 on PointsBet. I locked it in at around plus 500 on Bet365. That is my first bet. Then we move on. I got, again, another submission play, Vanessa Demopoulos. I actually picked Murata to win the fight if I was just going to play it by the odds, but on Vanessa, you can get her at plus 800 to land a submission. This chick is a legit jiu-jitsu specialist, and I think that she has, again, a lot of potential to land the submission in this fight, and you're getting that at plus 800. Those are my two far-out plays by submission. I like to lock in submissions when fights are expected to go another way because, again, if there's a knockdown at all, these guys are going to go for the neck probably, and I like the submission plays. Then, main event-wise, Bobby Green versus Grant Dawson. I have Bobby Green under 56.5 significant strikes. Again, as I said when I picked Dawson to win this fight, I think the submission is going to come rather early. I think he's going to wear on Bobby Green, and Bobby Green's just going to want to get out of there. So I'm going to take Grant Dawson to win this fight probably within the first couple rounds and not really give Bobby Green any time on the feet, any time to take him down, any time to land the 56.5 significant strikes. So Bobby Green under significant strikes, 56.5 at minus 120. Then I got Maness versus Mendonça. I have over 2.5 rounds. I think Maness is not getting a lot of love in this spot, even though he's kind of a dog. He is moving up to bantamweight, which is a little bit of an issue. But again, Maness can survive till later on in fights, whereas Mateus, he's going to come out, he's going to blitz, and there's potential here that Mateus starts to slow later on in the fight, and Maness can pick up the slack in the last 2 rounds. So that leads me into my next one. Maness to win the fight, plus 200. These ones are both 0.2 unit plays, but these are I'm more confident about both of these landing versus those submissions. But again, over 2.5 rounds in this one, and Maness to win at plus 200. Again, as I said when I picked Belbiţă when we were picking, I really like her as an underdog in this spot. She has striking statistics, all better than Karolina. Karolina, again, back half of her career, probably fading to leave the UFC soon. So I'm going to take in Diana, hungrier, better striker, more impressive recently. Give it to me at plus money. This was absolutely a lock for me. Then we got in the Hernandez Algeo fight, we also have 2 bets. I have over 150 significant strikes combined for both fighters. Hernandez and Algeo, I feel like this fight's going to go pretty long, and that's exactly where I'm going to get my lock here. 75 from each fighter, I think, is potential, but I think one fighter is going to go over 100. I couldn't pick which, and I think the other can pick up the 50 in this fight. I think it's going to go all 3 rounds. You can get this at plus 175 on 365, and then 2 or more takedowns in the fight. I don't think this plays against my play because if somebody lands a takedown, they can land significant strikes from a top position or trying to get back to their feet. So 2 or more takedowns combined from both fighters, and you can get that at minus 138. So that's my full slate for the UFC fight night. Do you guys have any locks for this week?
Yeah, Dolphins alt spread 20.
You know what, Jifty? I actually do have one.
Okay, CC, what you got?
I like the over for Giants Dolphins game, 47.5.
Okay.
I think I don't think it's gonna be a whomping like the Dolphins had a couple of weeks ago, but I think the points will be put up.
All right, over 47.5. I also want to say for football, Breece Hall, so over 60.5, I think is clear here for me.
Yeah, he's off snap count.
Yeah, give me Breece all the way here.
Oh yeah, over. People are gonna be too focused on Cooper Kupp.
You think so?
Hell
No
yeah.
way.
I would think.
Hell yeah.
I would think that would be the other way. They're gonna guard Puka, and then you're gonna see big game from Kupp.
No.
All right, well, that'll do it for today's video, guys. If you enjoyed, remember to smash that like button, subscribe to Combat Sports Central. We got a lot of picks here. We'll break them all back down next week. Thank you guys so much for watching.
Hell yeah.
We'll see you in the
Happy
next one.
Thanksgiving, guys.
Happy Thanksgiving to the Canadian viewers out there. Cheers.